doomers are coming. They're already here. We've tried, we've talked it out, we've been innovative, we've thought of like what can we possibly do? And no matter how much you say it's a possibility, it is possible for us to make it. They say no. Bread is too expensive. Life is too expensive. The house, have you seen the housing market? Like, no. My issue with this is no matter what, you have to believe you're going to make it, even if it's the last thing that you have. Okay, everybody has a story, everybody goes through a lot. But the problem is, like, nobody really wants to make it, if that makes sense. And I am not an advocate for working 6 days a week, 7 days a week, taking the work the weekends, bro. Work the weekends, work your ass off, and maybe eventually you'll have like $100,000 in the bank. $100,000 is nothing. It doesn't compare to the top 10%. Like, how long is it going to take me to get to $100,000? Even if I work 7 days a week, which is kind of impossible with my specific job, it's capped at 6. But if let's say I work and I make an extra $2,000 a month, that's 50 weeks that I have to work. And how much are 50 weeks? I don't know. I don't exactly know. But this is without me getting burned out. This is without me getting tired. This is just like I sacrifice everything to reach $100,000. There has to be another way. And I know what that way is. It's being innovative. I want to be innovative. There's like, and you can tell the difference in like how much somebody wants it. I have, and I've realized like I have desperation in my voice when I talk about success. When I talk about making it in some way, whether it's figuring something out, I am consistently, there is not one moment of my day that I do not think of a way to make it, of a way to succeed into like the top tier. And I'm not gonna lie, I still enjoy video games with my friends, and maybe even to a degree where I waste time on it. I'm not gonna lie, but I cannot get the thought of my brain out of my brain that there has to be a way that is different. And there is. A lot of people think entrepreneurship is the way. Entrepreneurship has become the most saturated topic ever. It is so ridiculous when people talk about businesses, and I know because I talk about like business, and I love talking about business, and I love talking about like innovation in general, and like okay, maybe this can happen in solutions. But a lot of people just talk about wanting to be an entrepreneur. It's like, oh, I'm gonna run a business. Well, what's your business? Well, I'm gonna clean trash cans, for example, or I'm gonna open a laundromat. Okay, cool. And I'm not saying these things can't work, and no way, nor am I, taking a dump on them at all. But a lot of the times, it's like even like it doesn't happen. And I talked with a friend, because I wanted to I wanted to do a cleaning business, and he's like, "Do you like cleaning?" I said, "No, not at all. Like it doesn't matter what it is. I don't want to clean." Not that again, not to say that I won't clean, but the sense of like I don't want to. I can't spend my life thinking that I want to clean something, no, or cook something. I enjoy these things. I enjoy cooking. I think it feels amazing when you clean up. I don't know, spring cleaning. You clean your room. It feels amazing. But can I do that continuously for other people? No. Even if it's making me money, it's just not something that I gravitate towards. Things that I gravitate towards are content, for example, or tech, or finances, or horror. I love horror, for example, and these things catch my attention. And yeah, do I believe like there are simple businesses that can thrive? Yes, 100%. But it's not. I think there's another way. I think there's another way than just claiming to be an entrepreneur. And I think to a degree we need to be extreme, not to the extreme of what you might think. Okay, where no one's hijacking anything, but in the sense of we need to find another solution. And my big thing is for young men who want to change something in their life. As I've said many before in videos where I was kicked out of my house, I had $30,000 credit line and it was taken from me. The credit line in itself was a component for something bigger. It wasn't the credit itself. The credit itself was, again, like it was a starting point, because when I first started, I opened it was technically a first business. It was reselling. I was doing reselling at my house, my old house. And when I say my old house, is grandparents' house, but still, I was selling sandals, for example. I was ordering them from Alibaba. No, CJ Dropshipping, and the margins were low. pretty low actually. Like I think it was like $3 per sandal that I was making profit. And what I was doing is I was buying them through my credit card. And it would take a week for the purchase to go through, and I would take that purchase and I would pay my credit card back. So not only was I making $3 profit, I was also making 2% cash back on top of that. And when you are going through like razor thin margins, uh anything counts. 25 cents, like let's for example, 25 cents, each sandal, 4 buys, that's an extra dollar that I get right there. And I built the credit system as trying to get as high as possible. I did not have a job at this time, by the way. I did not have any job whatsoever. I was strictly working through reselling and drop shipping. And I was making about anywhere between $300 to $1,000 a month, so very consistently. Yet I built my credit lines up to $30,000 between 4 cards, and it was a $15,000 credit card, two $5,000 credit cards, and then one. Okay, my bad. It was three $5,000 credit cards, and then one $15,000 credit card. One of them was a business card. Two were just regular personal cards, and then one was like the big personal card. That was supposed to be my business seed. I was trying to scale it to 100K, and it was possible because I had offers for other credit cards that were going to give me an extra $15,000 to $20,000 per card. Yes, it's possible. I've done it. I swear I didn't have anything backing me. It was easy to do. It just took some time. It took about 2 years to build my credit to that point, and I was also really like I became like autistically interested in credit cards. And what I was doing is I was using household income. So if you live in a household and you're above the age, I believe, 21, then you can use the entire household, entire household income. So let's say you make 30K, you have another person make 30K, another person make 30K, that's like 90K. And I was putting mine around, like a higher limit. But it was true because everybody used it and all the income was going in there. So it's literally in the description. Another thing I was doing was utilizing 0% APR offers. So those 0% APR offers, I was like, let's say taking out like 5K. And then if, let's say I was paying it down and I didn't pay it off all the way yet, I would just balance transfer it to another card and have that additional, I don't know. It was like 15 months to pay off of the extra 3K, for example. Okay. Because again, I am also running on like thin margins while growing my business, which I scaled it from 3 to 1,000. Um, so after that, like my thing was like trying to figure out where can I put this money into, and I was also investing at the time, and I had about 15K in investing, which was also stolen from me. But that point was that it was like to grow investments, and the investments were to be a fallback. And I realized because after I was kicked out of my house, I moved to Connecticut. Now, the thing when it comes to moving to Connecticut is I realized that there's actually a lot more than just like, no, how do I say? Some places, okay, have different prices. Some places have different cost of living. I know this. However, and I know most people do. However, when I started looking into it, it's like you can have like work in one area and then go to another. And I know that's kind of common knowledge too, but there's very cheap states, and I believe it's Oklahoma or it's let me see if because I took a picture of it actually. And I was actually going to make a video called like houses aren't cheap. No, houses aren't expensive. Housing is not expensive. People just spend too much. But basically there's this house. Let me see. It's Zillow. This is it right here. This one's a foreclosure, but this one is the one I was looking at. You can see it. It's $135,000. It's an active listing. It's 2 bed, 2 bath. And this is the inside of it. Absolutely, like I don't know, that looks like an amazing house. I would buy that. This is in Oklahoma, I believe. Newton, Kansas, my bad, it's in Kansas. I would 100% move to Kansas if I can somehow get a movable career. So the concept that I'm building is to find something that I can use to increase or create value in an area like Connecticut, New York, Texas, California, what is it, anywhere in like the East Coast because it's hella expensive up here, and then transition that money flowing down to another state like Kansas or Oklahoma, or I think it's like North Carolina, because these places are cheap, very cheap in housing. Or if you don't even want to go to like another state and that far, there's areas in specific states that are expensive that are actually pretty cheap. The only problem is the taxes. But like for instance, there's Hartford, there's Bridgeport, there's Waterbury, and these are not good areas by any means. But it's like as long as you can station somewhere where you can live for cheap, and then you don't spend time in this area. Okay, you don't spend time in this area whatsoever. You move away from this area and you go into like an entirely different city, which is very much possible because in Connecticut, like driving to like a different like a city near me is like 15 minutes, unlike Texas where it's actually a lot longer. But like if I move out of like my bad, it takes me like 30 minutes if I want to get out of Connecticut, Hartford, my bad. Or even if I go to like West Hartford, which is much better, or if I go to because I'm in Center Hartford, if I go to West Hartford, or if I go to what like anywhere in what's that county called? Basically where Greenwich is because it's like one of the most it's the richest county in America, I believe. I can spend time on. It's gonna take me like 2 hours, right? If I take like Uber or something or like the train, it's gonna take me like 2 or 3 hours to get there. But by car, it's like an hour to 2 hours, which is still like kind of a lot. But it's like there's closer areas. But I'm saying if you want to go to like the richest area, I would love to spend time in these places. I would not spend time around here. Not because I hate it, not because it's bad, but because I want to learn more and there's a better opportunities in areas where there's higher income. So I would like to spend time, a lot of it, in places with higher income. So that's what I've been looking into. So if I can somehow set up an opportunity where there is like value to be created and extracted in these areas like Greenwich and in Fairfield County, throughout the Fairfield County areas, and yet I live in a cheap area like Hartford or Bridgeport. And again, live there, don't hate it. It's actually it's really calm, but to extract the value from the higher income areas and then bring it here, I will be fine. And then spend time in those areas. So again, if I'm just staying somewhere that's cheap, but like spending all of my time in another area, granted, maybe like the 1 hour travel time, which is not like that bad if you think about it, you're pretty good. And okay, gas prices are coming down, I know, but they are coming down. Literally, they are coming down. So like this is my thing. This is what I've been like saying when it comes to like being innovative. It's like, yeah, there's sometimes there may be that sacrifice, that slightly sacrifice. Like, would you rather pay an extra like $1,000 at the end of the month, or like an hour of travel time for the weekend, to where you can spend out, somewhere else, and stay around there. And I think like there's this disconnect of like, well, because if something gets harder, because we shouldn't have to do this. We shouldn't have to do this because the way things are. But it's like it's like this anyway. You cannot in any way. You cannot like expect like, okay, I feel this way, so therefore the government needs to change it, and therefore all these other things. Like, they're not going to do that. Like, let's live in reality. If you think that somehow something needs to change right now, it's not going to. So we be innovative until that day. And I haven't met many people that want to do the few extra steps and then save that extra money, or uh like come together, because I've also had like other ideas. Like, one idea was, if you can legit have like 5 people with you that will like stay with you and like you can trust, you can literally buy a house, like $1 million home, anywhere between like 5 to 8 thousand, and depending on how much you're going to split it, you're living in $1 million home. You're $4,000 a month. I would love to do that. And of course, this is not, you're not going to get this in like California or New York, but in Texas, but in like a second, like Florida. I don't know about Florida too well, but I know like Texas, for example, you can live in a big ass house for about 5K a month and enough rooms to accommodate everyone. You're going to be living with people, but if these are your bros, our sis, bro fets, I like to call them, you're golden, dude. Another few things that like I just see like that are completely ridiculous, for example, is like going out into like drinking and partying, or all of these things. If you genuinely want to be like, if you're genuinely like outgoing, okay, I hate to use the word like ambivert, but I choose to like not go out unless like it's I don't like to go out and drink or party or anything like that. However, if you do, there's cheaper alternatives. I think, one, go to something that's going to benefit you. Go to like meetings of what is it called? It's like there's these like events where you can go and have a lot of fun, and like networking events. Thank you to myself. But there's networking events. I also think like, if you're not really like, or genuinely ask yourself like, are you happy or having fun? Because I think if you genuinely are, like, let's say you genuinely like going to the club, make room for it. Like you genuinely can, but you would have to cut out in like some other areas. I prefer to like not do that, and I have a video game station that I play with my friends every time like we can, or I'll meet friends online that I'll play instead of like going out, and I save a ton of money. And with the rest of it, I'll either invest it or do whatever I want, or I can even like reduce my work time so that I can focus on my videos or focus on like school or focus on things that are gonna like benefit me in the long run. Other things is just like what else is there? There's like I'm trying to think of the few ideas that I had like in general, but these are just a couple that kind of came to mind that I think that we can make it. We can, and I'm not trying to be an ass, but the doomers, like no matter how much proof you show them, no matter how, if you try to give them like a concept of an idea or a way to think, they will deny it and they will fight you on it and they will call you names and they will berate you and they will tell you how wrong you are and how much they're suffering and all of those other things. And it's like, dude, we live in the same country, we live in the same world. Like, don't act like for some reason I'm a millionaire just because I can talk about finances and like I don't have much of it. But like, let's say I say that there's a possibility, doesn't mean I'm a millionaire. It doesn't mean that you can shit on me for it because it's like, oh, he's only positive because he has money. No, that's not how it works. You can still talk on it and you can still have your ideas. Uh, I genuinely believe that we can do it. Like the people that follow this mindset of like no matter what is going to happen, I will be okay. And I believe that's a reference from like Bad Men, or is it Mad Men? Mad Men. Where it's like no matter what's gonna happen, I'm gonna be okay. And even when things get hard and you're scared and you're worried, it's going to be okay. And because I've gone through a lot of shit. And this, I hate pity. I hate, like, I'm not trying to say that for sympathy, empathy, but, being kicked out, traveling to another country, I mean, no, another state, my bad. Dealing with, like, finding a job after not having one for 20 years and then 25 years, and then navigating, like, trying to fix my credit after being 30K in debt while, like, doing all of this other stuff. And then, like, being separated from all of my friends and family. I did go to meet my girlfriend, but again, this was, like, a chance that I took to, like, go meet my girlfriend. And it's like we ended up working out 100%. Like we're going on a year and a half, so I'm extremely happy. But it was a chance. It was a chance that I took, and I'm so glad that I did. And I wish more people would take a chance like that. Not recklessly. Always be calculated, of course, and always try to mitigate anything if it is possible. Always have a way out. But I would say that I'm rooting for you, and I believe in myself, and I believe in you, and surround yourself with people that also do. And that's it. I'll have more of my concept and ideas tomorrow. I'm probably gonna post this video late, so it's probably not gonna get any views, but we're bros, and doesn't matter if we don't know each other. Doesn't matter how far you are, but I believe in people that want to make it and believe that they will. I'll talk to you later, bros.